Thank you for your purchase of the Lamplighter Flasher Starter Kit. I hope this will be very helpful for you on your layout. So in this video we're going to show how to attach some fibers to the Lamplighter Flasher animation unit that come from a railroad crossing, and we're also going to have a detector hooked up to trigger the lights onto the unit. So the first is to insert the fibers. Just insert those and give it a twist to lock those in. And you'll notice that 4 of the lights are not working right now, and that's because they are actually triggered. They won't light until the trigger is fired. So let's insert the second fiber into the lamplighter. So now let's take a moment to look at the electrical connections to the Lamplighter Flasher unit. Your lamplighter has on its right hand side a section for detecting trigger inputs. And so in fact here it is. You can see there are 8 individual detector inputs that are on the side, on the right hand side of your Lamplighter FL. And you can use a number of different ways to connect into this. You could actually use just wires with JST plugs on them. That's going to require you to do some soldering, which is fine. An alternative though is to be able to use this 8-port detector terminal block. Here you can just screw the wires directly into the terminal block, and then all you need to do is that then gets inserted into the Lamplighter FL, and those become the trigger inputs. The lower one being number 1 and the top being number 8. There's also a 4-port power terminal block that is used to provide power to the sensors you may be using. That then provides voltage for the sensors, and that plugs into the left-hand side of the Lamplighter FL, and that's shown more clearly now, as you can see, with some wires connected into it next to the voltage input plug for the actual Lamplighter FL. So I'd like to show you how this works in real life. And so what we have here is that 8-port connector, which we're going to insert as a trigger input into the Lamplighter FL. What I've got, in fact, is a magnetic sensor here. That magnetic sensor would go underneath the rail to pick up the magnets that may be underneath a carriage. And I've hooked that in to the first detector here, as well as I've linked it to the second, because I want 2 of these lights to go off in order to get that the railroad crossing going. So let's plug that in, and that's going to be our trigger input. Good. But I also need to provide voltage to this, and that's done through this duo one, which just has basically 2 voltage outputs, and we're going to plug that into the voltage output here. Good. All right. So let's see how this works in real life. So here we have the railroad crossing, and it's hooked up with a magnetic sensor that is going to detect the boxcar as that is moved across over the sensor and then moves near the railroad crossing. Of course, the lights now turn on because they've been triggered. As we move the boxcar across, they stay on, and then as we move it back again, they're going to remain on until a little while, about a couple of seconds, and then they will turn off. I hope you noticed the emergency vehicle with its flashing lights, but its headlights are lit by the regular Lamplighter unit, so you can combine both types of lamplighters on your layout. Thanks for watching.